Okay, we're live. We don't have an introduction anymore.
How come?
Well, I asked Doug to change it, and he just took it off. Because I wanted it just to say Crossroads Daily. Because it says Crossroads Daily with Pastor Mike, and Pastor Mike's usually not here. And I get questions, well, where's Pastor Mike? It says with Pastor Mike. So I asked him if he could change it to Crossroads Daily.
Oh, I see.
That way, it didn't matter who did it.
True.
Anyway,
Well,
anyways.
good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a great Monday. Enjoy the warm day because we don't have any for about 7, it looks like. So it is winter time. This is extreme winter for Oklahoma with what we got coming our way, but we'll endure it. And we're going to talk about that today, about getting through things and enduring things that we can't deal with or fix.
Right.
I'm going to be in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 8. I preached a series of sermons on this last year, kind of late summer, early fall, I think it was. I could be off a few months, but in that. And it says that we think, this is 2 Corinthians 1:8. We think you ought to know, dear brothers and sisters, so he's saying how we want you to know what was happening to us, about the trouble we went through in the province of Asia. Christians can have troubles. I know there's a teaching out there that if you name it, claim it, speak it, you're not going to have troubles, and it's false religion, it's false teaching, it's not legit. Paul was as powerful a man in the Bible as we have outside of Jesus. To me, the most powerful in the New Testament that we have. Wrote the majority of it. And he's talking, Paul said, I want you to know about the trouble we went through in the province of Asia. We were crushed. Does that mean you have no faith? No. We were crushed and overwhelmed beyond our ability to endure. And I'm going to stop there and we'll come back to and have Kelly read a deal about endurance out of James.
We sat down and I said, you pick something, I picked something, and it's strange because we both went forward to the same thing about endurance. Mine is in James chapter 1, starting at verse 2. It says, Dear brothers and sisters, whenever troubles come your way, let it be an opportunity for joy. When your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow.
Your endurance has a chance to grow. And it's through the test. It's through the trials.
Right.
Back to 2 Corinthians. So we were crushed and overrun beyond our ability to endure. Kelly just read when our endurance grows, when our faith is tested. We thought we would never live through it. In fact, we expected to die. And I don't know if you understand the ramifications of Paul saying that. To me, that shoots down all the name it, claim it stuff out there about I can just say, I don't have any problems, not going to have any problems. What you name and claim is through the problem, God's got me and God's got this issue. The joy of the Lord is my strength and all that. That's what you claim, not that I don't have a problem or put your head in the sand on it. He said, beyond our ability to endure, we thought we would never live through it. In fact, we expected to die. How many of us have been there, man? I'm not going to get through this. This is going to take me out. It's going to beat me down. I'm never going to recover from it. And it may not be an actual life or death. It may be financial,
or
maybe some of your kids, emotionally. It can be numerous things on that. But as a result of this hardship, as a result of the test of the faith, like James talked about, that Kelly read, we stopped relying on ourselves. Now, God does want us to have self-discipline, self-control, and be self-reliant, but there are some things we can't handle or do, and we've got to be giving it to God every day, all day. As a result, we stopped relying on ourselves and learned to rely only on God. Now, somebody come out with the T-shirt. I've got one. I haven't worn it in a while, but it says, nobody's coming to save you, trust the Lord. And a lot of times we're looking for somebody else to fix us, make us happy, make us stronger, make us smile or whatever. And sometimes they never come. Sometimes people can make you happy. Sometimes people can be a great blessing, but sometimes they can also be a great distraction and a problem. So we learned to rely only on God. There's a lot of changes happening in our country right now that President Trump and his people are doing and whacking. A lot of people's for it, a lot of people's not for it. There's protests in the streets, all this stuff going on. I don't know how it's all going to weigh out. Maybe be better, maybe be worse. Maybe it's status quo. I don't know. But I'm going to trust God to get me through whatever happens, not the government or what the president does or doesn't do in that. Notice this. He said, we learn to rely on God who raises the dead. Verse 10, and he did rescue us from mortal danger, and he will rescue us again. Now, there's a time in Paul's life God did rescue him, and he lost his life for the gospel of Jesus Christ. But he was still trusting in the Lord. We have placed our confidence in him. Some of your translations say our confident hope. This doesn't have the word hope there, but our confidence in him being God. He will continue to rescue us. You are helping us by praying for us. Then many people give thanks because God has graciously answered so many prayers for our safety. in that, you need to make sure that you can deal with your own safety, that you are protecting yourself physically.
Right.
This is talking about physical safety and spiritual safety in that. So they go hand to hand together sometimes in some instances. But I don't know what you're trusting. I don't know what you're relying on. I hope it's God, and I hope it's only on God. It's good to have people in your corner. It's good to have people having your back, but sometimes they want to be there and they would have your back, but they're not there.
Right.
They may be at work. They may be
Right.
in another state. They may be where they can't get to you to help you in that. But I promise you, God always shows up, and He shows up on time at the right time, each and every circumstance that we go through. So rely on Him, fully trust on Him. Our youth group a long time ago sold the frog hats. It was fully rely on God.
I bought those when my dad got cancer. I bought him a bracelet that said that.
No, that was kind of a little popular. Pretty cool little deal.
Yeah.
In that. So again, if you trust in anything fully other than God, stop and put it all in God, and I promise you, you will be way, way, way better off in doing that.
Well, and then the end of this portion of James, it says, so let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be strong in character and ready for anything.
Yep.
And that's what we have to do. We have to be ready for anything, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Or when it's going to happen.
Yeah, just like in Kentucky, they didn't know they were going to get that 6 inches of rain and it was going to completely flood areas and sweep cars away. They didn't know. They weren't prepared for that. We have to be prepared for things like that. Mike and I have been going around today making sure that, the water lines, we have the doors open so the heat can hit the water. And, we have to prepare for that. We have to be prepared. Is it hard? Yes, some days we don't want to do it. We don't want to prepare for the day, but we have to. And when we will let our endurance grow, then we can be ready for anything.
And even sometimes when we have prepared, it'll still overwhelm us like Paul did.
Yes.
That's just, okay, God, I've done make sure you've done your part.
Right.
And I promise you, God's done His, and that's where you just trust Him when it gets, because there's a lot of things happen to us that get out of our control.
Are totally out of our control.
We've prayed for our kids and they still do things, or something happens to them or our grandkids.
Right.
Or I don't have any of those. But I've got children. Kelly's got children and grandchildren. Just like when Canaan, joined the Marine Corps and stuff like that.
It's the hardest thing ever.
Often that was out of their control. He's growing up. He's a young man.
Yep.
Now he's a young Marine, starting his career out. And those things you just got to put in God's hands,
Yep.
And stuff like that. So no matter what we do or what we come up against, or anxiety, an anxiety attack tries to come, fear, worry is just eating at us, nagging at us all the time. They're trying to rob our joy. That's where you just got to give that to God. Make sure you've done your part. Make sure the weapon formed against you that you haven't created yourself. And just keep trusting God through that.
Yes.
So, thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yes.
The offices will be closed tomorrow and Wednesday due to the inclement weather coming. They're all pretty much locked in on the snow. In case they do miss it, you'll know Kelly will be back on there, but any bad weather and all in the cold, she'll have the church phone with her, so if you need something, holler at her. She can give you the number here in a minute, because I don't know what it is. 399 something is all I know.
It's 918-399-5956.
Yeah, there you go. So call it if we can help you. We've got people scattered around to serve these communities. If something happens and you lose power or whatever, don't sit there and freeze to death in your house. Let us know. We'll try to get somebody to you to try to help you out, make sure that you're safe through this storm that's coming up. We're fixing to go through, starting later on tonight and all day tomorrow, look like into Wednesday.
Right. And y'all know I don't like snow, so I get to hibernate, and I don't like to hibernate either, so I'm kidding.
I like the snow.
I'm going to be struggling.
If it was 25 and snow, this bitter cold I don't like. I'm kind of a winter guy. I do like it better than 110, but I do not like this 5 below and 30
scary.
below wind chill. I don't like that. It's just any extreme is too hard.
And I know that there are people that will have to go to work in this. They have to. They don't have an option. They have to go to work. So those people, be in prayer for them, but also don't go to work if you don't have to. I mean,
stay off the road.
Yeah, just don't put yourself in that danger, because you're making somebody else put themselves in danger because you decided to be silly.
Yeah,
so.
Just if you can stay home, some people have to go. If you
some
go,
people do.
Real
I
careful.
understand that. And some people have to. When I worked at the bank, I can remember they told us we didn't have an option. We better get to work. And I was like, I have an option. I'm not coming to work. I don't need to be there. So
yeah, well, just be smart. stay where again, offices will be closed. No services at all. Anything happening this week?
Wednesday.
No men's Tuesday night. No women's Wednesday morning. No youth Wednesday night. Nothing. We'll pick back up, Lord willing. We'll be back in here on Sunday morning. Had two good services yesterday.
We had great services yesterday.
It was attendance down a little bit due to the weather. Some places were really slick. We wasn't too bad here. Right. But I know some of our folks up in the Cleveland area is icy. Some of our Bristow folks was pretty slick down there.
Mikey, our drummer, was in Sand Springs, and he couldn't get here because he couldn't even get out of his neighborhood.
Yep, he got hung up on ice-covered hills.
So just be cautious and don't put yourself at danger. Go run to the store and get your bread and your milk, which I don't know why you need bread and milk during snowstorm, but go get it and get back home before it gets bad.
I mean, I had a guy text me when I was on here last week, was it?
Uh-huh.
I said, I'm not going to do my little deal. And he said, oh, come on, I like hearing that. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys watching today. Appreciate Kelly doing this the days that she can there for a while. Our internet was down and she wasn't able to do it. But remember, it's faith over fear, Christ over crisis, and you can remain calm in the chaos.